Hi, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Osezuah and Elimihe. We are still on the series, Becoming a Person of Influence. I am your host, Osezuah Anthony Elimihe. You know me. I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the drill. So now, let me state clearly that influence is a position of leadership. And it is also a very, very intense position of power. You have to do it right, because the destinies and the happiness and pleasure of people depend on your influence. A whole nation, a generation of people, families depend on your influence. So what would you rather do with the influence? Let me state again that there are two types of influence. There is the positive influence and there is the negative influence. But we have been from the beginning discussing the positive influence. The influence that builds humanity, that adds value to humanity. The truth again is this, that every human being is a powerful value system. What influence does is to help the individuals that are the target of the influencing to reach in and find their value. It's about helping people discover themselves. It's not about making a decision on their behalf. It's not about dragging them and leading them on. It's about guiding them suggestively towards a decision. The decision at the end of the day must be the responsibility of the target. When you have to take a decision on behalf of anybody, then you are no longer influencing the people, you are teleguiding them. You are, I don't know, but you are not just influencing them. The word influence, what it stands for is instigate, which means you are luring them, leading them into a decision. That is what it is about. Leading them into discoveries, leading them into their positions of power. Today's parlance, people who go to social media and do all kinds of things are called influencers. Well, there are different levels of influencing, like you said, but what we are talking about here is the positive, life-transforming influencing. So, for you, there are 5 components of influencing. The first one is that you must be clear as to what you are influencing people about. Okay? Do you want to influence them to become better human beings, to make organizational decisions, to take steps that are germane to their development? What are you influencing people on? Are you influencing people to take election seriously? Are you influencing them to have faith in themselves? These are things that you need to clarify. Then the second part of it is that there must be a big picture. And the big picture is why. What is the benefits? What is the purpose behind your wanting them to do that thing you intend for them to do? Influencing is a big business. Okay? It is the basis of our human existence. We influence one another. Like the Bible will say, iron sharpens iron. So does a brother sharpen the countenance of a brother. So does a sister sharpen the countenance of a sister. We are in this world as a collection. Like someone said, that the entire universe is a body, like this, a body. And every planet, every solar system is like cells or units of cells within that body. Then humanity as a whole is also a physical body, structural, gargantuan, massive body. And every human being is an intelligent cell in that body, because every cell has their own individuality and their own peculiarities. But what it is that they seed their vital identities to the structure of the entire body. So at the end of the day, you are a cell in humanity, I am a cell in humanity. We are to influence one another to carry out decisions. Like now I'm talking to you, certain cells in my body are participating in this discussion, but not all the cells are part of it. Other cells are instigating, supporting, backing the cells that are involved in this whole affair. All right? So there must be a purpose. Why am I influencing? To transform? Good. You must clear that purpose. For you to be able to influence people, you must give them trust. They must trust you. And what I always say is that a human being that cannot trust anybody cannot be trusted. A human being that does not trust himself cannot instigate trust from anyone. Trust is the vital ingredient in leadership. When the people trust the leader, they follow sheepishly. They follow without questioning. But this is one thing about it. When leadership fails, when people cannot trust their leaders, do you know what they do? They begin to lead themselves. They begin to guide. Tell the leader what to do even when they don't know better. So as a leader, as someone who is engaged in the business, in the game of influencing, you have to build trust. When you say A, let it be A. And then when you say we are going left, don't start going right. Lead by example, because leadership is about visual attraction. You see, there has to be something for them to see. The way you carry yourself is leadership itself. So your body language must relate implicitly with what you are pulling them to do. You should be seen as an example of what you are teaching. Once the people can trust you, it's all over. Then the next thing, you can't do it alone. Leadership is not a one-man thing, a one-woman thing, a one-person thing. It is a collection. You have to get support. There is support out there, massive support out there. You cannot do it in a cocoon. This is why reaching out to people is key. Reaching out to people that are like-minded, that can help you. In fact, the people that you are influencing, you elicit their support. You elicit their buy-in and ask them for opinions. Because any leader, any influencer that thinks that all the suggestions must come from him or her is not an influencer, it's a manipulator. It's somebody that is imposing their will upon the people. Influencing is not about imposition of will on people. It is about making the people discover their own will and then using it appropriately for the good of all. If you were involved in leadership position in an office, for example, you will know that you need the buy-ins of your team. You need the support of your bosses, your line managers, and the entire structure of the system. This is where we get to the fifth. All right? Now, remember, when I am discussing anything on this channel, I'm not discussing company management thing. I'm not talking about externalization of influence. Now, I just mentioned all these 5 elements so that you will have an understanding of where we are going into. Now, let us start. Point number 1, be clear on what you want to influence on. For example, you want to influence yourself to be a better human being, to be somebody who says yes and does yes, to be somebody who says, I am going to sit here quietly for the next 10 minutes and not talk to anybody and just focus my attention on the inner vistas of my being. And you actually do it. Be clear on what. It's about the actions, the things that you need to do to make yourself stand in that position. Then ask yourself a simple question. Why am I doing this thing? Why? What is the big picture? By becoming a better human being, what is the what's the deal? Do I just become a better human being for the sake of it? No. I want to be above stress. I want to be above what people say. I want to be above people's opinion. I want to live a life in which I am the only determinant of my happiness. When that is the focus, then you will see that you have what it takes. You have the energy, you have the drive to pursue that. The next thing is now to communicate it very clearly. Just having the big idea is not enough, but communicate it. Now I have told you that you are not alone. You are just soul in the midst of mind, in the midst of body, and in the midst of physical environment. Now you want to create an internal environment, a mental environment that is self-sustaining, that is powerful, that is creative, based on conscious decision. That is your goal. Therefore, you have to call a conference of your system occupants. You have to bring the mind into the picture. I'll give you a very simple example. Today, I was driving all the way from Satellite Town, and I was feeling very, very uncomfortable within me. I knew that there was something brewing inside of me that was negative. The thought was brewing, it was getting me very uncomfortable. All through the morning, I was addressing the issues. They will go, the feelings will go and come back. The unfortunate part was that I didn't even know what exactly was informing this particular negative mood. So I was using some affirmations and I was pulling myself through. I was coming up and down, up and down. Then I remembered, hey, don't feel bad about it. Let the feelings just flow. I allowed the feeling to flow. On my way back, I decided to get myself back into speed. But I discovered that my mind, my ego, was not willing for me to flow into that place. It just was taking interest in staying unhappy. So I called a meeting. Yes, I called a conference of my inner agent. I said, guys, there's a problem. You see, this mood we are in right now, you might all be enjoying this mood, but I tell you one thing, you will detest it later because we are creating something that will not be good for us. I am the chief. I know the situation. I know that this will bring us a very bad end. Therefore, we better stop it now. Okay? That is me telling them, this is the problem. We need to solve that problem right now. I say, now, this is what I want to do. Between now and when I get back to Abule Egbas, I'm driving now, I want to be in a very happy mood. So I am going to do some things. Stop distracting me. I don't want to see any signpost by the side of the road. I don't want to see any pretty lady or anybody walking by the side of the road. I just want to focus. The only thing I want you guys to do, focus on the driving for me and leave the rest. I will go in and see what is possible. Now, I wasn't saying this out loud so that you don't think I'm mad. So I said this inside. I said, now I am going to start. So you follow me. No more distractions, okay? This is for our own mutual good. Because at the end of the day, when we become better human beings than we are right now, we will get better attention from society. Get it? They agreed. And I started, reciting all the beautiful things that I knew how to do. I was just doing it. And before I got to Okota from First Act, I was already beaming with smiles. I was so happy. Till I got to the house, they did not disturb me. I got to the room, had my bath, sat on my bed and did 49 minutes of meditation. Before, it would take me 1 to 2 hours to get to a state of flow in meditation. But this time, as I sat down, it was instant. Why? Because I had rallied them to a conference. You must carry your system along. When things are not feeling good inside, don't fight. I have said that before. What you simply do is communicate with your mind. There are people there. Your mind has four set. You know what? The next video, I'm going to sort this thing once and for talk about the human system so you can understand what I'm talking about. The mind has two humanoids, two human-like entities that are working. One is called ego, the other one is called the intellect. All right? They don't do the same things, but they cannot go against each other. One has more power than the other. The intellect is in charge of the conscious mind. It's one that runs the show in the conscious level. The ego is one that runs the show at the subconscious level. That is the most powerful entity you have inside of you, the ego. It's the one that controls your breath and everything. The ego is is massive. Active 95% of the time. When you are unconscious, the ego flows. Okay? That is when you are in pain, when you are in agony, who do you think controls the whole situation? When you want to fight, you want to antagonize people, I want to be counteracted, who do you think is in charge? It's not the intellect, it is the ego that is in charge, that defends itself. Now you need to bring these people to a meeting, and knowing their respective natures, we talk to them accordingly in a way that both of them will understand. I will discuss that, don't worry, in the next video. Tomorrow, wait for it. And then, you have to carry them along and create that big picture. Okay, this is what I've chosen to be. I've chosen to be independent. Speak to them the way they understand. Remember, you are not acting like they are. For example, the intellect wants to know new things, wants to break new ground, wants to explore. Tell the intellect, with this, we will explore new frontiers if we are able to get this done. And tell the ego, you will get more praises, you will get more respect from society. Ego likes that. Push along like that. Now, these two people are going to support you with resources that are within them, which are memory and identity. They will pick from there according to what you have defined to them. They will pick in other ways. But this is it. When you have called that meeting and you have discussed with them and you made a decision, you must create trust. How? When you say, like I said, I want to focus on the inside, don't distract me. I don't want to see any billboard, any signage by the sides of the road. I don't want to see any pretty lady walking by. I don't see anything. I just want to be focused. Don't distract me. What I want you guys to do now is focus on the driving, and then I will focus on getting us back to happy ways. And when you start, maybe after a few distance, you now start looking at, that's a pretty lady out there. Oh, lovely billboard. You are not going to create trust. The ego is going to ride roughshod over you and say you are not reliable. So until you begin to give them instructions and let them know that you are in charge, they will never trust you. You cannot say, I want to meditate for 5 minutes, and you sit down. After 2 minutes, you get up. You say, I want to go and drink water and come back. You are not giving them that thing. You have to be resolute. You have to have an iron will, iron grip. If you say, you want to be a better person, and therefore, I don't want to have a gratuitous sex anymore. I want to be very clean. And then the next time, maybe one of your contact calls you, one of your babes calls you and say, guy, I'm missing you, how far now? Babe, I'm missing you, how far now? And you say, well, but no, if I would do. How far? I did now, can we see? When you do that, you kill the trust. You have to let them know. The reason your mind is not taking instructions from you is because you have never made them understand that you are in charge and clearly in charge. That is what you must do. Make them know that you are indeed in charge. Okay, so build trust. That big picture of why do I want to become a better person, communicate it to the system. It might not be as easy with you as it was with me today, because I've been in this business for quite a while. But you might say it now, they will test you over and over again before they start believing you. You have to keep at it. Don't say because you tried today it's failed, therefore you stop. No, keep at it. It is about repetition. You have to understand that you cannot do this thing alone. Why? One, you are just one, but you are not alone. Though you are the one doing the job, but there are forces, there are powers watching and supporting you. The Bible says we have a great cloud of witnesses in the book of Hebrew. A crowd of witnesses are watching us. Therefore, let us run the race with diligence. Therefore, understand that just as there are so many people watching to see how well you will do, there are those also waiting to see when you will call for help. That's why in my affirmation, I always say, I am open to help. When you have set up a structure to say, this is what I want to do, and you are working at it, and the entire structure of creation sees that you're actually diligent on it, when you call for help, help will come instantly. That is the beauty of life. Understand, if you are a religious person, if you have a religion, you believe that you have a God you believe in, whether it is African traditional religion, whether it is Christianity, Islam, Jainism, Judaism, Buddhism, whatever it is, this is the time to leverage on the network of your religion. I'm not telling you to go and meet human beings, so to say. Call on the entity that you believe in and ask for assistance. Because mind management is not a cheap job. It is a job you must do with some divine connection. And if you have not had faith in divinity, it's great for you. Somebody say, why do you always say it is great for you if you don't have faith in it? It simply means that you are open to possibilities. So you don't even have any entity you believe in. Therefore, relax, trust in yourself, and tell yourself all the helps that are available, that are possible, and open to them. It's as simple as that. Open up, okay? And then you will see the assistance coming your way. Atheists have achieved great things in life, not because they did it all by themselves, because the human system itself is a system that is connected to the source. Whether you believe in the source or not, it doesn't change anything. There are laws. When any man is diligent, any woman is diligent in their way, life comes to their aid. Just stay diligent. Focus on what you have decided to do, and the rest will be easier done. Somebody sent me a message yesterday and said, sir, how come bad people succeed very fast and good people find it difficult? I say it's very simple. The people you call bad, they are sincere to themselves. They are hardworking. They are committed to the so-called bad that they want to do. They focus all their energy on it and they deliver. Why the good people, so to say, they are not good to themselves. Most of the goodness that we see in people are a product of fear. fear that they might not go to hell, fear that people might not say things about them, fear that they might not be punished, fear of different types. That is not who you should be. Whatever you do, do it out of commitment. I know somebody who was a virgin, and then the day he wanted to go and explore, he told God, Lord, this is not about me being rebellious. This is just about me trying to become a human being. So try and understand. I hope you get it. I mean, that was it. It is a case of being sincere and being true to yourself. There is no need to pretend and kill yourself over what you cannot do. So who exactly are you? What is your goal in life? What is your focus? Don't let it fail. Don't derail it. Be very, very structured. There are helps available. There are helps out there. There are helps in space, all over the place. God has put laws into place that when anybody fulfills these laws, answers come to them. They can never be broken. You can leverage on the network of the universe, of the earth, of everything. There are laws waiting to serve you. Just connect and everything is sorted. The truth is this, my friend. You emit signals. You cannot influence anybody externally when you are not a bundle of influence yourself. You are a power station. You emit influence. You radiate power. And people see your radiation. If your radiation is lust, people will see, they will catch it. If your radiation is love, the people will catch it. It's not hidden. Be not deceived. You can't mock anybody. Whatever you want to be, the purpose of this channel is that you can become it by diligence, by obeying the simple rules that I'm setting out here. It's as simple as that. So tomorrow, we start the big deal. It's a pleasure talking with you. God bless you. Thank you.